Okay, my name is Marcy Rose, and I'm the director for the Rose team. Today is April 17th, 2023, and it's a Monday. And I'm going to be talking about one of the pillars of success. We've already talked about two of them. We've talked about belief and we've talked about passion. I'm going to be talking about skill. And we have one more next Monday, which is will. So, um, amongst those four pillars of success, all of those things, if we get a crack in one of those pillars, it's just like a foundation. Um, it really shakes things up. It's just like a house that's what something happens, and we've got to work on that particular one to make it more stable, just like a house. So just wanted to mention that sometimes we do get cracks in our pillars. And so um, okay, so the skills are the tools that we have available to us to grow and build our businesses. Everyone has access to those tools. So what are some of the tools that you all can think of that you go to regularly at a regular basis to increase your skill in your Pamper Chef business?
Our trainings.
Right? Trainings,
The videos.
videos,
Yep.
Teammates.
teammates, exactly. Absolutely. Yes.
Team pages.
Team pages, absolutely. Yep, we get ideas and we get see what they're doing with their skills. And a couple of that I had written down was Consultant Corner, of course,
Yeah.
and Dash. We go to Dash to get information. And we like to keep up to date with things. So the stir is really important because that is something that we used to get a newsletter, actually, y'all. It used to come in the mail, and we would be really excited about getting that. It was kind of like a little catalog. It was almost like getting where you look at clothes in a catalog, but we've got the Pampered Chef, and it would have our specials. We were just so excited to get that in the mail. But now we have Stir, so we don't have to wait for it. So I think it still comes out on every Tuesday. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but the Stir is updated on every Tuesday. And when you have a question, it's a good idea to go over to the Stir first to see if it's there, because a lot of times, anytime the company makes an announcement, the Stir will have it first, and you'll be able to stay up to date. Okay, and something else that that we like to, well, I don't know how many of you have actually read the policies and procedures or skimmed through it, but that's something that, if you got a day job, you certainly would go ahead and read the policies and procedures, or at least skim over it. So the Explore tab is another good place in Consultants Corner to learn some new skills. And I did a video on that not too long ago, and went over everything that is in Consultants Corner, and the Explore is one of them. Of course, Zoom calls, Facebook groups. Are y'all in some of our Facebook groups, like Consultant Scoop and the different ones for the different products, like the air fryer group, the blender group? Sometimes you can get overwhelmed with all those groups, and so it's like they're going off all the time with the notifications and stuff, but it's really good, especially if you have a question about a particular product, because what happens is we have like ambassadors for products, and they create these groups, and then when they're using the products before we even get our hands on them, they pretty much work out all the bugs and everything. If there's
Right.
anything that is going wrong or anything that don't work just right, these ambassadors have these groups for each product, especially the larger products like the electronics. And it's really good to be a part of some of those groups, because then you're going to know what to expect, and what the customer is going to expect also. And of course, Pampered Chef will always, if there's anything that does go wrong or is not just right, they will fix it. We've had things that at times that didn't, and I remember one time we had when the pancake dispenser came out, batter dispenser came out, and there was something that didn't work quite right, and they sent out a piece. It was just a piece, and it fixed it perfectly, and everything was good. So they're on those things to make sure that everybody's happy with the product. So what are some other sources that ways to strengthen your skills? Do y'all can y'all think of anything, ways to strengthen your skills?
Are you talking about tools?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what I'm talking about. Product knowledge is it giving you kisses?
I have two of them, and when
I
I get on
see.
video, like my whole team at work knows who they are.
Yeah.
It's like children when you're on the phone.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, they got to get right there. I'm surprised mine is not walking across here. But yeah, product knowledge is something that is a skill that we all need to use, especially when there are new products out. We need to know them, like the back of our hand, to get them out, use them. So something that we could do this week as like a little exercise is we can make an effort to learn about 3 products, and these 3 products can be ones that you don't have yet, or ones that you just want to familiarize yourself with. And I'll give you an example. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink hot coffee. I don't drink cold coffee. So when we came out with the what is that called, cold brew, well, that just was not my cup of tea. So I had to learn, even though I don't have one, I don't use one, but I sell them. That's the thing, that you don't want to leave those out of your shows. If you have it, or even if you don't have it, you want to talk about it, because they sell. That is something that people are really into, is those cold brew. I mean, they really like that, and just because I don't mean they don't, So, try to go and learn about 3 products. Say something that you're not familiar with. Go ahead and familiarize yourself with it.
Marcy,
Yeah.
Is there, and I probably shouldn't be asking this. I've been doing this 6 months now. I should know
No,
this.
honey, anything.
Yep.
I've been here 22 years, and I still ask questions, so
Right.
nothing wrong at all.
So is there a top 10 or top 5 sellers or something like that?
We
Yeah.
we actually each have
Yep.
you can go into Consultant's Corner, and you can pull up your top sellers, and it'll give you that list, and you can see exactly how many you have sold of those things. So I think that across the board, as far as how many of Pampered Chef has sold, what's the top Pampered Chef seller, I've never really heard of that, except for like the Mix and Chop. That has been one of the top sellers across the board. That and the Food Chopper, but what you sell is definitely there.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about, how the cup slicer, how that
Yeah.
just went crazy. And
It
it's so
did.
funny because I was like, I'm not getting that. Who's going to want that?
Oh no, I
And-
was like, I need to have that. That looks like fun to play with. I don't.
Yeah.
And now
yeah.
I ordered it. So now I'm one of those people waiting. It's
Right,
now I
one of
gotta
those
know what's
waiting.
happening.
Yep, exactly, exactly. Also, prospecting is a skill that we also need to learn. Building and expanding our circle. I know a lot of times when I have recruited people before, the first thing they tell me is that they don't have any more people that they can ask to do a party. Well, what happens is they think, okay, this is my circle, these are my people, I've already exhausted them, there's nobody else that I can ask. Well, that's not true, of course, because I do parties all over the United States, and so do
Right.
other consultants. Everybody gets out of their circle by doing things like customer care. Um, that's one of the things that we can do when we're prospecting is when we do the customer care and we take care of somebody, then they're going to refer us to somebody else. And that's number one. And then we build these relationships with these people and then their people, which expands our network. And so when they know, like, and trust you, they're definitely going to recommend you to someone else. That's just the nature of the business. Let's see, get over here. I got notes from, I actually took notes from one that we did years ago, and I've always liked the 4 pillars of success because I think that is something that we build on as our businesses grow. Those pillars are just, we try to keep the cracks out of them, but so relationships, let's see, it will be that you will refer me to your friends. Okay. Relationships are the heart of our business. It's not just I sell to somebody and that's the end of it. You don't want it to be anyway. You might go to a furniture store and buy a piece of furniture. Well, that's going to be the end of it for a while, unless you want another piece of furniture. But with us, because we are in the business of relationships, not just selling something, and a car is another example of that. We don't really build relationships with people who are sales people, not for a long-term relationship. So work on prospecting skills and communication skills through customer service. We always want to provide the best customer service that we can, even if it's someone else that was their consultant in the past and they didn't provide the service that they deserved. We need to step up and do that for them because we're representing the company.
Right.
And that's something that has happened to me many times over the years where somebody didn't take care of their return or something that they had a question about, and I've followed up with them and did do that, and it helped me to establish that relationship with them. Let's see. So we want to do something this week that this is a call to action, y'all. So Tuesday through Friday, we're taking the weekend off. We're not, unless you want to. We want to reach out to at least 5 customers per day. And we don't want to ask them for anything. It's just we want to reach out for customer care. Like, for instance, you could say to a customer, you could say, Jess, I know you bought the Rock Crock from Sarah's party. I wanted to check to see how you were enjoying it in your kitchen. And that could lead to a booking, could lead to a recruiting conversation. You just never know. Or it just could be you're just serving them and establishing that relationship. Anybody have any questions or concerns about that, about customer care?
No.
Are you talking, TJ, or are you? I didn't know if he was talking to somebody else, the cat.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, I know, I do too.
Yeah, you know what's so crazy is every single time I'm on a call, I think about something that I don't normally think about. And I'm so focused because of working full time. And then I'm on this little tiny nugget of time for Pampered Chef right now that I'm like, okay, booking. I don't ever think about just calling people who've already bought from me and saying, is there anything I can help with? Do you have any questions? I mean, that's kind of some common sense there. Like,
Yeah, it is.
you know,
And we're going
having
to talk about
share
time
that.
management here in just a second because that's another skill that we need to strengthen. It's
Yeah.
something that we need to work on all the time. But as far as customer care, when you don't have, you really, work a full-time job, you don't really have the time that it deserves. Do you have Project Broadcast, TJ?
I have ScentShare, and yeah, I think ScentShare is the only one I have.
Okay. Um, and there again, you have let's see, customer connection. So that's something through Consultants Corner that you can utilize to do your customer care also.
And Mark,
Because
I was going to ask you about that, or ask anybody about that. I was just curious if you, because I saw where you can click and highlight everybody and send everybody a
yeah,
message.
Mhm.
But
right.
does that come from Pampered Chef or does it come from me?
It's through Pampered Chef, but it comes from you. You put in there
Okay.
whatever you want to put in as far as questions or specials that you want to offer them, or if you want to click on a few of them and that was in the last party, say, and you wanted to ask them how they're enjoying their products, it'll go to them, but it won't show that you're sending it. It won't say you sent it to these 5 people. They'll get it individually.
Okay.
Um, but if you want to send something to everybody, like I did today, and I pretty much just sent Taste Buds, some information about Taste Buds to them to try to get some of that residual income, because that's something I really want to tap into is, if you have enough Taste Buds subscriptions, you be green every month,
That would
just by
really
having
help new
those.
consultants.
That would be awesome. That would just do it for me big time. And I've had a few in the past, but it's something that I've not really focused on. And really, the only time I focus on it is when they have a sale, and I shouldn't do that because I'm there's folks that are missing out. So we've got just a little bit more time. Okay, so time management, that's something that we need to strengthen this week also. So Tuesday through Friday, how much time does your business deserve? And you kind of base that off of what your goal is. If you have small goals and you just break it down to how much time you can give that, maybe lunchtime, you've got an hour lunch in 30 minutes, you can do something for Pampered Chef. We have something called the Power Hour, and you can do that anytime, and you can break that down in pretty much what I break it down into is host coaching, customer service, recruiting, and sales. Those things, I like to break it down in like 15 minutes. You don't want to, and which I have done it before, but to utilize your time wisely and to make the best use of that time, you want to break it down and do something for all of those. So developing the skill to set aside that time for your business is something that's very important too, because you don't want to be doing it all day, and you don't want to, not do it enough for your goal, whatever your goal is. Now, another thing that is a good skill is to work on your demo skills. Whether you go live or you just want to show your hands doing something, or for instance, I made the caramel latte bread tonight, and I just took pictures and I did a reel and did a voiceover and told them what I did, how I made it, what I used, and everything. And y'all, that big muffin pan, it's got the big muffins. That bread come out of that just like it was nothing. I mean, it was just as clean and pretty and stuff. I knew I was going to do it, but it was brand new and I hadn't used it before. I've used some of the other ones, but that was awesome. So You want to make any of these that you do, your live, or whether you're showing your hands or whatever you're doing there, you want to make them short and sweet because people's attention is just like squirrel, but I have one more thing to tell you, and then we'll do questions. But these 8 essential skills that I think that are very important. Listening. Listening is one of a number one skill because a lot of times we miss those red flags, whether it's a recruit, a host, a customer needs help with something. That is something that we need to develop as much as speaking. Speaking is like another one that we need to work on if we are say that we're shy about speaking. We can practice in front of the mirror. We can practice, doing a video. Those things are important skills to have, especially listening. That one's really important. And the third one I have here of the 8 is problem solving. Our business is, 100% problem solving. And if we can solve somebody's problem, we got a customer for life, because they'll come back to us for another problem that they may have. Creativity, which that's something that I feel like I enjoy being creative, and I spend too much time on being creative. Less
you can
time.
get lost in Canva.
Oh my, yes. And it's not an income producing activity. Canva is not, but I just like everything to look pretty, but pretty don't sell. You can do something so simple and it will, take off and do well a lot better than something real pretty. So that's something I got to work on cutting out. Staying positive. That's something that I think that my team really does a lot of, more so than negative, and that's something that you want to do. You want to be in these groups that are positive. You don't, if they all the time, if they're moaning and groaning and fussing about something, you want to stay away from that because it just breeds more of that. Aiming high. You always want to aim higher. The saying, if you shoot for the moon, you might fall upon the stars, or you might reach the stars, or whatever. So always aim high. And leadership, we always want to strive, I feel like we all do, to be a leader and be good leaders, because we've been there. And even if you don't have a team and you're really leading other people because you know things and they may not know. So you're leading them. And that takes me to number 8, which is teamwork. And something that I learned taking the Kristen Boss seminar this weekend was, and this is number 9 that I added to a skill, self-awareness. I don't think we spend enough time being aware of how of taking care of ourselves as well as taking care of others and our customers and our host. Is like, and I know Debbie for real takes care of her family, her host, her customers, everybody else, and does not take as good a care of herself as she should. And I'm talking about, emotion, and and she needs rest, bless her heart. So that's something that I want y'all to think about as well this week. Doing something nice for yourself. Take a bubble bath, just have a glass of wine. Just do something nice for yourself, because all these skills that we have, don't do us any good if we are down, just wearing ourselves down, So be sure to take care of yourself also while you're, that's a skill that needs to be learned too, if you don't already have that skill. So does anybody have any questions about skills.
I missed number 2.
Number 2 was speaking. So I got number
Okay.
1, listening. 2 is speaking.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions about any of that?
You did a good job.
Thank
No,
you,
you did a
darling.
really good job.
Thank you. And our next one is going to be next Monday night, is going to be on the wheel. So, if you have all 4 pillars, then you should have the wheel as well. So that's what we're going to be going over next. I'm not sure who's doing that one. I didn't write it down who was doing it. I can't remember,
know.
but
Marcy, for those that don't know, one of the things for skill, I do the Saturday Success Talk.
yes.
That's a really good thing to do.
That is. If y'all aren't a part of that group, it's a really good one as well. And it's people just like us telling everybody, they're on a call like this. They just can't see us and everything. We just listen, and they're telling ideas that they do. And every Saturday morning, they give us ideas of things that they're doing in their business that's working for them, pretty
Awesome.
much. Okay, well, I hope that y'all learned something, or maybe not.
We did.
but I'm glad that y'all came and joined me and everything. And I'm gonna stop the recording.